Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today is kind of, for me, the unofficial start of spooky season, although what I'm doing today probably isn't going to be spooky, so there's that. But yeah, I just wanted to sit down and have a play about with makeup today and just do something a bit fun and not like of a series or anything, just something new. Today I'm going to be doing a look that I have been thinking about for a while, and I sketched out a couple of weeks ago and I really like the look of it, and it's inspired by Geodes. So I'll just show you my wee face chart. There we are, can you see it? There we go. So if anyone's ever seen this is going to sound so strange, but if anyone's ever seen, you know those cakes that you get that's got like a slice cut out of it and then they make the inside look like a geode? That was kind of the idea. My makeup look is inspired by cake. Great. It's kind of the start of Halloween looks. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be like the scariest Halloween look ever, because it's not. It's pretty, hopefully. But I think you could still get away with wearing this for Halloween. You could go as like, I don't know, the Jewel Queen or something like that, hence why I've got my wee band on today. But you could use it for Halloween. You could use any look for Halloween. But so as you can probably already see, I've already got a base makeup on. This is just very similar to the base that I wore in my Aquarius makeup video, so I'll link that up here, I think, or up here somewhere. I'll link that and you can go and check that out just to see how I did the base. But as always, all the products that I have used and will be using are going to be mentioned down below in the description box, so you can just check it out down there. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So to start the geode portion of this makeup, what I first did was take a white eyeshadow base. This is the P.Louise Base, and I just used that on a flat brush just to carve out the areas that I wanted my geodes to appear. So I obviously drew a face chart, so I kind of knew roughly where I wanted them to be and the shapes that I wanted them to be. You can, or if anyone's copying this, they can copy these shapes or they can come up with them on their own. But if you don't feel confident going in with a white base first, then you could go in with something like a white eyeliner pencil just to sketch it out, and then go in with your white base so that you feel confident in the shapes that you're creating. So when I was creating them, I just tried to make them as organic as possible. I didn't want them to be too perfect. So yeah, I just googled some different shapes of geodes, and I also just made some up, to be honest. I wanted them to kind of follow the natural form of my face in some occasions, and yeah, I just sketched them out and filled them in, and then I kind of used the side of my brush to create a more ragged looking edge rather than a straight edge, just to make it look a bit more organic. So then for this wee shape here, I just used a smaller brush, but I just did it in the same manner, just sketched out and then kind of beefed out the edges a wee bit. The application of the white doesn't have to be 100% perfect, it's just so that our eyeshadows have something to stick to. So then I went in with a matte white eyeshadow on a flat brush and just set the kind of outermost part of the white, and I only set like maybe a centimetre of the white, just to get the edges set. So then I started to go in with my colours. So for anyone that doesn't know what a geode looks like, this is what it looks like here. So obviously you can see the outsides are white or a lighter colour, it then goes into a lighter colour and then darker in the middle. So it's a cavity within a rock that is filled with crystals and minerals and stuff like that. So you can use pretty much any colour. I was kind of inspired by the wee headband that I've got on. I kind of used mostly colours that would match that, but I'm just going in with a pastel light shade of the colour that I've chosen first, and I'm using a small domed brush and I'm stippling it on rather than swiping it on. This is actually to get more of an uneven kind of texture to it. The more uneven this looks, the better in terms of like patchiness, because then it just gives it more dimension. So I just used a brush just to stipple the colour on and left like 1 centimetre where we'd put that white. And then I'm going in with a darker colour. So I'm repeating the same steps over and over again, but just with a darker colour each time, and I'm concentrating them in a smaller area. And of course, if you want to blend it a bit more, you can go in with the colour that you used previously, which is what I'm doing here. But the key is to make sure that you can see all shades of your colour. So you can see the white around the edges, you can see the lightest colour, then your kind of mid colour, which is what I'm doing now, and then we go in with a darker colour later. So it's also super important when you're doing this to bear in mind the shape that you're creating. Try and follow the kind of white base shape that you've made. It will just make it look a bit more realistic, I suppose. Not that this in any way looks realistic, but you get the gist. And then just on that wee small one, just at my lip, I used a very small pencil brush. So now I'm going in with a mixture of the last dark colour I used and black. So I mixed those two together, and I'm again concentrating them in the middle of the shapes. So another kind of key for this is any areas where the shape on your face that you've created is wider, you want that to be a larger area of black. And then if it gets thinner, then that needs to be a thinner area as well. So have it uneven thickness so that it looks a bit more 3D. You can kind of see that the purple one on my cheek there, how it's kind of got two larger areas of black and then it kind of fades in the middle. So now on to the fun part. So this is Sculpt Gel. This is a special effects product that is usually used for creating burns, wounds, anything like that. So today I'm going to use it for complete opposite of that. I'm going to use it to outline the geodes. So it's a 2-part system and it's a silicone based product. So basically got part A, part B, you take equal parts of it, mix it together, and it creates a silicone product that you can kind of spread out. It blends nicely into the skin, but we're not using it for that today. So yeah, you basically mix those 2 parts together, and then you have about 10 minutes until it starts to cure and set in place. So what I did was mixed 2 parts of those together, and then I shaved a wee bit of eyeshadow off of a palette and mixed that in just to colour it slightly. So the colour that I had was a flesh toned, but I wanted it to look more golden, so I just scraped a wee bit of eyeshadow out of a palette and kind of tipped that in and mixed it about just to get this shade going. So the key with this is it doesn't have to be perfect. Probably the more uneven the better. So I just used a small metal spatula just to kind of glob it on. That sounds horrible. Just to apply it and kind of spread it out, and then I kind of went back in and textured it as well. The more uneven the better in this case, because it needs to look like the edge of a rock that's just been cracked open. But any bits here that I didn't like, I just cleaned up with a clean bit of the spatula. But yeah, I just kept doing this. Had to make up a couple of batches just because my room was very warm, so it set very quickly. I'm going too fast mode, good. So now I'm going into eyes. So I am first starting by creating a wing with the same white base that I used from before. And I'm going to go ahead and set this using a pink eyeshadow. So this is the same pink that I used on the geode on my chin. And then on the other eye, I'm using it again, but I'm going to set it with a gold eyeshadow. So I didn't want any aspect to this makeup to be symmetrical. Wanted it to be similar on either side, but not the same. So I'm now going underneath the gold side with the pink, and that is going to go along my lower lash line as well. And then on the other side, I go underneath with gold, and that goes along my lower lash line. So then I just took that gold on my inner corner as well and just kind of blended it into the inner corner. It was so pretty. Look at that. Beautiful. So then I realised that I had missed one of the wee geodes out, so I'm just creating this on the inner corner. I didn't film this, I filmed it for a TikTok. Go and follow me on TikTok. But I just repeated the same steps, but I did it with blue this time. So now I'm using a pigment called Goldilux, which is the best pigment in the entire world, and I mixed it with some setting spray and painted it over the Sculpt Gel now that it cured. Although the Sculpt Gel was already gold, I wanted it to be more sparkly and more ornate looking, and this kind of gives you like the classic gold look. So I just mixed the pigment with the setting spray and painted it on, and I also used this to go over my gold eyeliner, and I used this to outline the geode on my eye because I didn't want any heavy Sculpt Gel around my eye. I just didn't think it would look right. So now I'm just curling my lashes and applying mascara. I decided not to apply false eyelashes on this look because I just didn't think it would work. I wanted it to be quite minimalist. This is minimalistic. Amazing. But yeah, I started with a minimal base, so I wanted the rest of my makeup, my normal makeup, to look like that. So now I'm just going in and darkening any areas with black, and now I am stippling on some glitter glue using kind of a beaten up brush, and I'm applying a glitter that it looks white but it's got a really nice blue reflex to it, but I'm kind of applying it haphazardly so that it kind of has that more crystallized effect. You'll kind of see here in a minute, it kind of goes on chunky. That's absolutely fine because it gives more texture to the geode, which is what it would normally have, but I just wanted it to have a wee overall shine and then wee bits of texture too. And then to finish off on the outside, I'm applying gold leaf. So I just used my eyelash glue and tore up wee bits of gold leaf and kind of sparsely applied them. This stuff is really fiddly, so what I do is I just use my finger to apply it because it's the easiest way to get it to stick to the lash glue. It sticks to your fingers, but it will stick to the lash glue because it's stickier, so you're better off using that. It does get everywhere though, but I mean, it's fine, it's gold. Who doesn't want to be covered in gold? So yeah, I applied that just here and there and everywhere, and I made sure to put some in a corner. There you go, that's me getting it stuck to my fingers. So now for lips, I just used a pink liquid lipstick, just very lightly rubbed it out and then applied a lip gloss over the top, just because again I wanted the kind of base makeup to be minimal and the geodes to kind of be the standout point. So there you have it, that is my finished look for today. As always, I hope you all enjoyed. If you could let me know what you think down below, and make sure that you check out all my social media links, give me a like and a follow on all of them, and make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. I've got loads of Halloween looks coming your way soon, so for now I hope you enjoyed and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!